What's going on, y'all? It's Clutch here. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody had a blessed weekend. I just want to go over a few trades that I'm watching for the week. So let's go ahead and get started with some data first. Let's go to see what we have for data. Job openings on Tuesday. Jobless claims on Thursday. Employment report on Friday. So some nice data coming out this week on Friday. Probably the biggest data. The employment report. So Thursday into Friday, it's a little bit riskier to swing, but from the looks of all of this, it looks like a good week, right? It looks like a normal risk on week. Obviously, things could change with news, with these tweets or whatnot, but everything's looking good. Everything should be normal, and it should be a fun week. For earnings, let's go look at earnings. Earnings. So for earnings, we got Palantir, Duolingo, Pins, Shopify, PayPal, Pfizer, AMD, SMCI. These are the biggest names here. AMD and Palantir. SMCI, MSTR, another big name. TEM, Disney, and NVO, Hut, Uber, CVS. Some good names this week, right? So we could be playing some post earning moves. Keep in mind, if you do play earnings, just know earnings can go either way. It's a hit or miss, or you can stay flat. Who knows, right? Earnings, you're playing earnings. It's a lot of chances. You're kind of gambling, right? Let's see. So now let's get into the watches I'm watching for the week. So number one, I'm gonna go in order from A through Z. I'm not gonna share all of them. I'm gonna send those in the trade ideas in the Discord. But here's a few that I'm watching this week, right? I'm watching first of all Apple, right? Apple just had earnings. They reacted kind of all right, right? We almost made new all-time highs. So pretty simple trade here on Apple. If we can break above, yeah, all-time high above 289, above all-time high 289. We can look for a scalp into 290. We can break 290, then we can start using probably that 300 as a magnet on Apple, right? And that's if the market stays strong. For a bounce, we can watch this level here around 276. Um, Either a bounce there or and then a reclaim of 280, or you can just wait for the all-time high breakout, right? Me personally, I'm probably gonna wait for the all-time high breakout unless I see some nice price action intraday. Second, I'm watching Celsius. Celsius is has some bullish divergence going on, right? This little falling wedge pattern, and it has a little bullish divergence showing here, right? This is pointing down, this is pointing up. To me, that's showing bullish divergence. Earnings is next week, so we could see a nice little pre-earnings run up as well, right? Above 34.5, I will look to get into calls, and I want to target at least in this somewhere in this 38 area, right? Obviously, the price does not always want to has to hit the exact price targets, but I am expecting a move back into 38 and fill this gap around the 40s, right? So we can actually do is let's see if we can get a measure move from this wedge from the top of the wedge to the bottom. We can move this to where it will break out, and that gives us an estimate, about $40 as our price target. So that's not bad. Celsius, I would buy maybe like 1 week, 2 weeks out, just to be a little bit safer. You can play weeklies. Just know this stock kind of sometimes it doesn't move too much. So smaller caps, I do like. I tend to buy more time. That way I can kind of let them cook. And then also we buy more time, and then we make some good profit. We can leave some free runners for earnings, right? That's the way we can play earnings, right? Leaving some runners or just a few a little bit of the profits to run and do whatever for earnings, right? That's one way we can do that. So yeah, Celsius, falling wedge, bullish divergence. I am watching this week. Here's another trade. This is kind of already running after hours, but I don't believe it's done just yet. We actually entered on Friday. I posted this on the trade ideas on Wednesday, right? We came back into this little demand. We made this little bullish pin bar. Next day, she didn't trigger. But on Friday, she ended up triggering and breaking out this little downtrend. So she triggered. I got in calls. I know a few other people got in calls. And my eyes are all, they're on this level, 105 area, right? If we can reclaim 110, 111, I believe this thing has a potential to squeeze 20 to 30% higher. Probably even more, right? This is a huge trend line from the top. This move can be explosive, right? 30 to 40% move, and I'm talking about this is just the stock price. So imagine what options can do. It also has earnings next week. So this week we actually see another pre-earnings run up, right? And what could we do with the profits? We buy some time, trim, leave profits, leave some runners, let them run for earnings, and then they can do whatever, right? Make it a risk-free trade, right? That's the most important thing about trading, right? Risk management and making it risk-free, right? Obviously, I'm not going to hold full positions through an earnings play because that's way too high risk, right? What we could do is just leave some runners, right? Let them do what they do, and something that won't really hurt as much, right? But yeah, CRCL circle looks ready. Looks very ready, right? Above 111, this thing will fly. CoreWeave, I think it's time for round two. CoreWeave actually has earnings this week, so contracts will be a little bit pricier, but this thing looks ready, right? Above 125, CoreWeave has nothing but room back into the 150s, right? Above 125, we break this trend line. If it does it after earnings, which would be better, in my opinion, would be better if it does it after earnings, because now we have a catalyst that could drive us higher, right? That would be awesome. But if it happens beforehand, obviously we could take a few contracts and scalp it, right? If it triggers beforehand, I don't think we're gonna go all the way up here. I believe they'll save that move for earnings, or it'll tank. Who knows, right? Nobody knows what earnings will do. But I am watching CoreWeave pretty heavy, above 125, A plus set up here. Especially if we can get that earnings catalyst. If it goes to 150 after earnings, then I probably won't be looking at this no more. But definitely keep this on your watch list. CoreWeave. IWM, right? IWM has not really broken all-time highs yet, but this one should be a very simple trade, right? I believe we tapped all-time highs on Friday. Yeah, we did, right? We broke it by 2 pennies. So this week, pretty simple. Above 280, IWM, just go long, right? Above 280, go long. We broke out this little structure, the supply, retested it, looks ready to go. So above 280, IWM, buy calls, and have some fun, right? So that's what I'm watching on IWM. Net. This one actually has earnings as well, but I'm watching this as well above this 218 level. If we can get above 218, we can target 225, and then maybe leave some runners for earnings, right? Huge downtrend. Looks like it's about to break. Just trade safely. Like I said, it has earnings, and I don't really trade this name too much, so I'm not too sure how the contract volume are on this stock. Oklo. Yeah, I know I love to trade me some Oklo. We've had some huge hits on this play so many times. We caught this whole run up. We caught this run up. This was in January. We caught this whole move, which was crazy, right? And I think it can do it again, right? I think it can do it again. So earnings is next week, so we're good. Pretty simple. Oklo, that's so bullish engulfing on what is this, Thursday? Above 73, we could take some calls, and then we could target these highs up here around 80. We break 80, just hold into this 86, 85 area. We break that, target 100. Okay, so this could actually we could actually move this trend line too if we really wanted to. But yeah, I'm watching this above 73. Aklo. Path. This is a ticker that doesn't really move too much. Maybe you can just buy equity. But Path kind of looks ready for a quick little move. Above $11, I believe Path can go into the 1250 area. So that should be a nice little 10% increase. Yeah, 10 to 15% there. Just buy some time on these contracts if it does trigger, and if you do decide to play it, this is very small account friendly. So just watch this above 11. If you want to buy shares instead, target a 10 to 15% move. That's totally acceptable as well, right? We break this 13 to 1250 area. We could go much higher. PLTR. This thing has earnings on Monday, after hours Monday. But look at this downtrend, right? This little inverse head and shoulder setting up. Above 150 on Palantir. We should go back into the 160s. Earnings could be a catalyst. This thing has been kind of lagging. It's holding this huge demand. So not a bad risk to reward on the aspect of it being this low. Obviously, we can wait for after earnings. But if she goes after earnings and if she's above 150, just buy calls. Buy calls, target this 160 area. Once we break this upper trend line, this thing will go back to all-time highs in a matter of time. It won't take long. QBTS. We actually caught this on Thursday. I had this on the trade ideas on Thursday. Nice little supply in this area. Came back down, retested it, broke below it, and reclaimed it, retested it, and now it's holding. And we're kind of flagging here. So QBTS, two ways you can play it. Above the weekly high, which is 20.7. You can take calls and target these highs up here around 22. You break 22.50, this thing will go. Okay, so keep this on watch. This thing already broke the downtrend one time. It could do it again. So QBTS above 20.7 for calls, or above 22.50, right? QUBT, same thing. Just watch this downtrend. This one hasn't really broken out too much. It hasn't broken out yet, but watch this above. I would say like 9.3, 9.5 area. We should come back and test this $10. If we can reclaim this 10, if we could do something like this, we will rock it. We will rock it. Okay. Starbucks. Man, we had caught this beautiful drop on Starbucks. But Starbucks looks good. I'm not going to share this with you guys too much. Another one I'm watching for earnings is TEM. If she can break above 58, this thing should go. 58 gives us 62. Above 62, we should see 67. Okay. USAR. This is more like a riskier play, right? Above 26.7 is our trigger. This thing can go this week as well, and we could target this area up here, right around that area, $31 to $32. ZS, I like this as well. Let's see. ZS has this little inverse head and shoulders forming, really above Friday's high. We can get an early entry, right above 141. We can get an early entry. If she breaks 144.7, which is basically 145, this thing should rock it as well. All right, we kind of have like this little. Let me find the best one. Probably something like this. Yeah, that looks better. So yeah, above 141, take calls. 145, this thing will go. And ZS, another thing, we're holding this huge demand. Right, we go to the weekly time frame. We're holding huge demand. So honestly, ZS, you could buy some longs here. Buy long term, keep your stops below 120. I haven't done so, but I will actually look at this tomorrow. You're risking about less than 20% for a potential 55% or more. If it decides to go higher, 130. I need to look at their financials. And of course, last but not least, we're watching still Tesla. Um, we got in Tesla since down here, so we've been in Tesla for a couple days now. Friday was beautiful. Like I said, above 383. Just watch this for longs. So now what we can do is watch the same levels, right? Watch for the pullback into 386, 383. Go long, right? If it doesn't give us that, watch it above 398. Above 398, we have 400. Above 400, this thing should go back into the like 407 area, right? Around up here. So keep Tesla on watch. Still hold your runners. Keep trailing your runners. And yeah, that's about it from me, y'all. I hope you guys use this to your advantage this week. Trade safely. Practice risk management. I'll see you guys next time. God bless. Peace.